Hello, you're watching QPVN News. I'm Anh Tuấn, and here's the headlines. Vietnam sends earthquake relief team to support Myanmar. Vietnam owns great potential for cross-border e-commerce. Vietnam Airlines launches direct Beijing Ho Chi Minh City route. The Ministry of National Defense sent 80 officers to join the efforts to relieve earthquake consequences in Myanmar. This shows that Vietnam is always ready to be a friend, a reliable partner, and a responsible member of the international community, while demonstrating the fine tradition and morality of loving others as you love yourself of the Vietnamese people. This is the second time that the Vietnam People's Army has sent forces to carry out humanitarian assistance and earthquake disaster relief missions abroad. On March the 30th, General Nguyễn Tân Cương, Chief of the General Staff, Deputy Minister of National Defense, chaired a conference assigning tasks to the forces participating in the earthquake relief effort in Myanmar. The rescue team includes 80 officers who are core force of the Ministry of National Defense International Humanitarian Assistance and Disaster Relief teams, bringing necessary equipment, materials, medicines, 6 service dogs and tons of goods to Myanmar. This demonstrates Vietnam's noble international spirit, affirming the position, prestige, sense of responsibility and capacity of the Vietnam People's Army in international integration and defense diplomacy. The Chief of the General Staff noted that the consequences of the recent earthquake were severe. Traffic conditions, harsh weather would cause difficulties for the rescue forces. Therefore, the rescue team must seriously grasp the task, build the highest determination, sense of responsibility, solidarity, unity, proactively overcome all difficulties, excellently complete the task. The team was asked to carry out rescue and humanitarian assistance tasks with existing equipment and experience, promote dynamism, creativity, and carry them out in the fastest, safest, and most effective manner. Our military readiness is very high, and up to this moment, we have well-prepared forces and materials. All comrades sitting here, after I assign the task, can depart immediately. You are all ready to carry out the task in any case, any condition. General Nguyễn Tân Cương emphasized that during the mission, the delegation must always be ready to help the people of the host country in its capabilities. They must closely coordinate with international forces, the local government and people in performing the mission, while strictly complying with international law, the law of the host country and military discipline, ensuring absolute safety of the people and equipment. Currently, we are using the highest quality force, which has been equipped with good training and practical experience. We have also experience in assisting earthquake relief in Turkey. With the rescue force, we believe that we will complete the mission excellently, rescue victims as quickly as possible, helping minimize the loss of the host country and people of Myanmar. The 106-member Vietnamese search and rescue mission arrived in Yangon Airport in Myanmar on March the 30th afternoon to assist earthquake relief efforts. We will continue to report on the search and rescue activities in the following news. Along with the forces already deployed to assist Myanmar, the Chemical Corps has directed Brigade 88 to quickly carry out preparations for the environmental remediation team, which will be ready to support the people of Myanmar upon request. In detail, Brigade 88 quickly gathered forces, inspected and prepared equipment to serve the mission, including radioactive and chemical reconnaissance equipment, decontamination equipment, DT1 disinfectants, and radioactive decontamination agents. The team has been carefully selected and trained. When the order was given, we had already prepared well, from human resources to facilities, equipment and expertise. On March the 30th, ASEAN foreign ministers held an emergency virtual meeting on the aftermath of the earthquake in Myanmar and Thailand. ASEAN member states affirmed their commitment to standing side by side with Myanmar and Thailand in overcoming the consequences of the recent disaster. They also agreed to effectively promote emergency response mechanisms, sending a team of experts to Myanmar to assess the situation and prepare essential humanitarian aid items to send to Myanmar. Speaking at the event, Deputy Foreign Minister Do Viet conveyed the profound condolences of the Vietnamese government and people to Thailand and Myanmar, affirming that Vietnam will stand side by side with the two countries in overcoming their current difficulties. He said Vietnam is deploying more than 100 personnel from the Ministry of National Defense and the Ministry of Public Security to Myanmar to join rescue and relief efforts. As Vietnam marks the 50th anniversary of the liberation of the South and national reunification, April the 30th, 1975-2025, the party's state, departments and local authorities have been organizing numerous meaningful gratitude events. Major projects and key initiatives are also being implemented to celebrate this historic milestone. However, this occasion is also being exploited by hostile forces who are intensifying their wrongful and hostile propaganda efforts to distort history, deny the significance of the great April the 30th victory, and misrepresent Vietnam's achievements in national development and renewal. The event of April the 30th, a case of fratricidal conflict. Only when the communist regime collapses can the Vietnamese people achieve reconciliation and unity. Some extreme rhetoric arbitrarily claims that most people in southern Vietnam do not accept the phrase liberation of the South, and that this phrase goes against the party's policy of reconciliation and unity. In reality, the issue of national reconciliation was not only raised after April the 30th, 1975, as early as the Paris Accords 1973, it's clear that out of the agreement's 23 articles, 3 specifically mention national reconciliation and unity. Although we sincerely fought and worked in accordance with the spirit of the agreement, the results were limited because the Saigon government did not fulfill its commitments. For the first time, the 7th Party Congress officially affirmed that overseas Vietnamese are an inseparable part of the Vietnamese national community. This statement reflects the goodwill and openness of our party and state's policy of great national unity. It's clear that the common perception of the story of great national unity and reconciliation is the shared goal of building a strong, prosperous, and happy Vietnam. In that spirit, narrow-minded views, prejudice, and attempts to deepen division are nothing more than small pebbles that quickly sink into the vast ocean of harmony and patriotism, values that always resonate in the hearts of Vietnamese people, no matter where they are. Coming up next, Vietnam owns great potential for cross-border e-commerce. Vietnam Airlines launches direct Beijing Ho Chi Minh City route. According to the Ministry of Industry and Trade, e-commerce not only plays a pivotal role in the digital economy, promoting domestic market development, but also plays an important role in promoting export activities. According to a report by the Cognitive Market Research, the global cross-border e-commerce market will grow at a compound annual growth rate of 30.50% from 2024 to 2031. Participating in the online import and export system and cross-border e-commerce channels is an effective solution, opening up many opportunities for Vietnamese enterprises to expand their customer base. increase market reach, improve business capacity and the quality value of goods originating from Vietnam, and bring Vietnamese brands to consumers around the world. Through cross-border e-commerce platforms such as Amazon, eBay, Alibaba, Shopee and Lazada, Vietnamese businesses can connect with billions of consumers worldwide, especially developing countries and large economies such as the US, China, Europe and ASEAN countries. According to the Vietnam Coffee Cocoa Association, in the first quarter of 2025, Vietnam's coffee exports will reach about $2.8 billion. If this price level is maintained for the remaining 3 quarters, the total annual export value could set a record of $8 billion. According to the Vietnam Customs Department, from the beginning of the year to March 15, 2025, Vietnam exported some 407,000 tons of coffee, with an export turnover of $2.28 billion, representing an 18% decrease in volume, but a significant 41% increase in value compared to the same period in 2024. The sharp rise in export value is attributed to a 73% surge in coffee prices from $3,228 per ton in the first quarter of 2024 to $5,614 per ton in the first quarter of 2025. The average export price in the first half of March 2025 reached some $5,800 per ton. At this pace, the $6,000 per ton milestone could soon be achieved. Regarding coffee export markets in the first 2 months of 2025, Germany was the largest market, followed by Italy, Japan, the US and Spain. Starting from March 30th, 2025, Vietnam Airlines will officially launch a new direct route connecting Beijing-Da Nang International Airport and Ho Chi Minh City. At the same time, the airline will increase the frequency of its Hanoi-Beijing flights from 5 times a week to daily service. This move reaffirms Vietnam Airlines' commitment to reviewing China as a key market and strengthens its role as a regional bridge connecting Southeast Asia and China. With the new route, Vietnam Airlines will operate a total of 6 routes between Vietnam and China, offering 40 flights per week and linking major cities, including Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, with Beijing, Shanghai and Guangzhou. The new Beijing-Ho Chi Minh City route is expected to meet the rising travel demand between the 2 countries. According to the General Statistics Office, Vietnam welcomed over 3.7 million Chinese visitors in 2024, an increase of 214% from the previous year, making China the fastest-growing tourism market for Vietnam. Under the sponsorship of the Consulate General of Vietnam in Osaka, the Center for Vietnamese Studies, in collaboration with Gay Chair Vietnamese Language School and the Vietnamese Language Faculty of Osaka University, organized a launching ceremony of the painting contest about Vietnam under the theme Vietnam in Me, and launched a Vietnamese bookshelf. Speaking at the ceremony, Vietnamese Consul General in Osaka Ngo Trinh Ha emphasized that the Vietnamese community in Kansai region, with more than 100,000 people, has been constantly making efforts to preserve the Vietnamese language through activities that are designed to raise awareness for the young generation. This Vietnamese language bookcase is a good example. The head of the jury of the contest, Professor Shimizu Masaki, Dean of the Vietnamese Language Faculty of Osaka University, highly appreciated the contest's significance. The contest plays an important role in teaching Vietnamese history for Vietnamese children so that they can preserve their roots while growing up as Vietnamese people in Japan. Then this is an opportunity for them to understand more about the culture and history of Vietnam. I drew a Vietnamese soldier because I love Vietnamese soldiers and I love Vietnam. Reading Vietnamese stories or participating in a drawing contest about Vietnam bring good opportunities for Vietnamese children in Osaka in particular, as well as in the Kansai region, to quickly access Vietnamese culture. then they would love Vietnam more and more. This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.